Mm, where is Oh, it's not even in there. It's in here. Low resistance liquidity runs always have an opposing running direction before it happens. There we go. We opened in discount today. We see this SMT here. From 4 a.m. to 7:05. So we see price opening lower. We do also have this daily BISI down here. It's at 50% of this fib. It's anchored to this 50%. So I find it to be a high probability draw on liquidity. My buys for the day is shorts. Maybe we'll come. I mean, we're manipulating lower now, but like we might see price come up to new day open gap, possibly consequent encroachment. Then we find our way moving lower. We did take out this August 20th New York low though. During, well, Asia, London, kind of sort of around that time. We have no first presented for value gap yet. We have yet to see first presented fair value gap. I'm gonna disregard that. Do we run straight through this? Higher time frame order block. Did we even wick it? We did by like a tick. Literally a tick, bro. Literally a tick, bro. We wicked it. Oh, we might see first presented fair value gap 938. Maybe. Potentially. Yeah. First presented. I wonder if we'll come back up to New Day open gap. We completely like just ran, bro. This isn't even manipulation, bro. We just trading lower at this point, bro. Dropping bricks, dude. My cat, bro. Ruben, come here. Ah, that's what this was. So this 938, Trump had posted something, bro. It says Canada has been ripping off the United States of America for years. Their ridiculously high tariffs on our farmers and farm products have made life impossible for these great American patriots and has long created a $60 billion deficit between our two countries. Not sustainable and not anymore. On January 1st, 2027, tariffs on all cars, trucks, both large and small, automotive parts and steel will be increased to 50%. Build in the US and there are zero tariffs. Canada will be treated like a state no longer. On trade and in other ways, also they are among the worst nations in the world to deal with. They feel, excuse me, they feel entitled, and yet we don't need Canada. They need us. They do 95% of their business with the US, with us, the exact opposite. So this probably why we trading so low right now. I ain't gonna lie. Like we are dumping. But I mean this daily BISI I was looking at, I'm about to get traded into, I think. Let's see if we can get a setup. If not, that's cool. Just completely disregarded New Day open gap, bro. Mm. This is like best case scenario. We come up the first presented and then trade from there. But if we show respect to this 944 and show inversion to 946, which I don't think we will, just based off of what price is doing right now. But in that case, I would wait for another pullback into an imbalance and then take a short from there. But first presented fair value gap is also in range of this 933 wick low. We just reclaimed this gap. Whoops. We inversed it to the upside, then reclaimed it back with this 949 candle. All right, I ain't gonna lie, chat. I gotta use the bathroom, bro. So I'll be back. I gotta use the restroom bad, twin. All right, I'm back. What did you come back to? What the hell? Whoa. Looks like it's interesting. Damn. Look at that. Look at those wicks, chat. Dang. Dang. I mean, even going for like a 2-to-1, bro. That would have. Mm-hmm. Whoops. We did de-risk though, chat. We have a tighter stop than the last one. Damn, low key. I even told myself to go break even once we hit this wick low here. I told myself mentally, I told myself to go break even before I had went to the bathroom. That's crazy. Damn. $29,00275. 75 entry price. TP 28,916. 625. 29,03175. 5 is my stop risk. 295. Expected RR 2.98. So I'll just put a 3-to-1. What is this? 29. What is this? Why is that here? Oh, facts. Hmm. Damn, we did leave a 5 minute gap right here above my trade. I should have took that into consideration. Low key. Now we can stop. Damn. Sheesh. I was about to say now we consolidating. See, we reclaimed this gap once again. But I don't know how like strong of a confluence that is. I'm not exactly sure. But I like how we show inversion to this gap here. I'm gonna take this down and go break even here. So we show respect to this 5-minute gap. This 940. That was a 3-minute. This 940 gap. We show respect to that. And then we show inversion to the downside after reclaiming this 1-minute SIBI. We'll see how this plays out. After this trade is wraps for the day, I'm done. I had to de-risk on this trade so I could stay around 500 total risk for the day. I do want to see this 1002 for value gap hold. That would be great. It is macro. I didn't think about that. It is macro right now. It is macro right now. Caddington. Hold on, let me. Oh wait, why do I need to do that? Ah, low key. Y'all think Silver Bullet gonna play out? Cause that's low key what we got here on the 3-minute. Right here. We low key got that on the. I'm getting rid of that. We low key got that on the 3-minute. Fair value gap. Tap that. Who knows? Who knows, chat? Let me see if there's like any actual like hourly targets we could draw to. This is like this is like we do got this intermediate low on the 4 hour. But do we really do that, chat? I see my trade reversing. We didn't even get break even. It's all right. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I'm hands off until we hit break even or see a different result. Hands off, bro. Hold on. This was inverse fair value gap. Enter right about right there. What that boy Yugi be saying, trust in the heart of the cards, bro. Gotta trust in the heart of your strategy, bro. Trust in the heart of your strategy, bro. See how the bodies, well, with the exception of 9, 10, 15, but the bodies are like staying under consequent encroachment. I kind of like that. I'm not sure what it means to the market because it's going to do what it does anyway, but we'll see. We'll see. Made a lower high. Not really interested in seeing price break above this high. That wouldn't make me feel good, chat. Mm. Where are we at right now? Oh, we're back in this 3-minute gap. That's great. Yeah. GG's chat. GG's chat. GG's chat. GG's chat. All right, bro. I'm about to give y'all a word real quick, then I'm off of this, bro. I'll give y'all a word real quick, then I'm off of this, bro. find where it's at. Mm. James chapter 4, y'all. From where come conflict and fightings among you? Come they not hence even your lusts that war in your members? You lust and have not. You kill and desire to have and cannot obtain. You fight and war, yet you not have, because you ask not. You ask and receive not, because you ask amiss, that you may consume it upon your lusts. You adulterers and adulteresses, know you not that the friendship of the world is enmity with God? Whosoever therefore will be a friend of the world is the enemy of God. You think that the scripture says in vain, the spirit that dwells in us yearns for jealousy, but he gives more grace. Therefore he says, God resists the proud, but gives grace unto the humble. Submit yourselves therefore to God. Resist the devil and he will flee from you. Draw near to God and he will draw near to you. Cleanse your hands, you sinners, and purify your hearts, you double-minded. Be afflicted and mourn and weep. Let your laughter be turned to mourning and your joy to gloom. Humble yourselves in the sight of the Lord, and he shall lift you up. Speak not evil one of another. Brethren, he that speaks evil of his brother and judges his brother speaks evil of the law and judges the law. But if you judge the law, you are not a doer of the law, but a judge. There is one lawgiver who is able to save and to destroy. Who are you that judges another? Go to now, you that say, today or tomorrow we will go into such a city and continue there a year and buy and sell and gain a profit. Whereas you know not what shall be on the morrow. For what is your life? It is even a vapor that appears for a little time and then vanishes away. For that you ought to say, if the Lord will, we shall live and do this or that. But now you rejoice in your arrogance. All such rejoicing is evil. Therefore, to him that knows to do good and does it not, to him it is sin. To him it is sin. From where come conflicts and fighting among you? Come they not hence even your desires for pleasure that warn your members? You lust and have not. You kill and covet to have and cannot obtain. You fight in war. You fight in battle, yet you have not, because you ask not. You ask and receive not, because you ask amiss, that you may consume it upon your pleasures. This is speaking to the conflicts that we find ourselves getting into within ourselves and amongst each other, derive from our desire for earthly things, and we want these things, yet we still sin, and in return we don't receive these things. Or we come to God and we ask God for these things. We ask him to bless us with these things, but we're asking for these things for the wrong reason. We're asking for these things out of greed or out of true lust, not just desire for pleasure. We ask for these things to satisfy our flesh. We ask for these things out of gluttony. We ask for these things out of the general blueprint of sin. You get what I'm saying? And that's why we don't have these things, because God cannot trust us with these things, for we want it for the wrong reasons. We ask amiss that we may consume it upon our lusts. You adulterers and adulteresses, know you not that the friendship of the world is enmity with God. Whosoever therefore will be a friend of the world is the enemy of God. This means you being a friend of the world brings hatred with God. Whosoever therefore will be a friend of the world is the enemy of God. We must not become acquainted with earthly things, again, earthly desires, for that comes with sin. We must draw near to God and seek what he has to offer, his gracious love, his compassion, his wisdom, his knowledge. For with his knowledge and wisdom comes everything else. Do you think that the scripture says, in vain the spirit that dwells in us yearns for jealousy? But he gives more grace. Wherefore he says, God resists the proud, but gives grace unto the humble. Going back to being acquainted and a friend of the world, that leaves room for jealousy and envy and hatred for others to expand in our hearts. Submit yourselves therefore to God. Resist the devil and he will flee from you. Draw near to God and he will draw near to you. Cleanse your hands, you sinners, and purify your hearts, you double-minded. For a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. Be afflicted and mourn and weep. Let your laughter be turned to mourning and your joy to heaviness. Humble yourselves in the sight of the Lord and he shall lift you up. Allowing yourself to draw near the Lord and humble yourself, to really bow down and get on your knees before him and pray and cry unto God. That's humbling yourself at the sight of him. That's telling him that you are aware of his authority, his holy authority, his ability to hear your cry for help, to hear your mourning, to hear your discomfort, your struggle, your pain, and then in return lift you up if you are a righteous person, a true child of God, who he's able to admire in that fashion. Speak not evil one of another, brethren. He that speaks evil of his brother and judges his brother speaks evil of the law and judges the law. And if you judge the law, you are not a doer of the law, but a judge. There is one lawgiver who is able to save and to destroy. Who are you that judges another? We, as simple human beings that walk and roam this earth, do not have the lawful nor rightful authority to judge another man nor woman. Right? It is only fair for us to judge ourselves, for it is really only ourselves that we have control over. We only have control on the way we respond or the way we conduct ourselves, the way we perform relative to being doers and not just hearers of the truth and the word of God. Right? So judging our brothers or sisters or the people of our community makes us no better than the people who we look down upon, right? Or who we are judging or criticizing. It makes us no better than them. We're not on a higher level on any kind of scale or totem pole, right? Go to now, you that say, today or tomorrow we will go into such a city and continue there a year and buy and sell and gain a profit, whereas you know not what shall be on the morrow. But what is your life? It is even a vapor that appears for a little time and that vanishes away. For you ought to say, if the Lord will, we shall live and do this or that. But now you rejoice in your arrogance, and all such rejoicing is evil. Therefore, to him that knows to do good and does it not, to him it is sin. Too very often we find ourselves sharing our plans with others or creating plans for the future when life is so very short. Life is like a breeze that comes and goes, bro. And as it says in the word, we don't know what's to come tomorrow. But we have this expectation that we're just going to live to see another day. So many people have made plans for tomorrow and didn't get to see tomorrow. Their lives were cut short for whatever reason. But we shall say God willing before waiting to experience the future that God holds for us, whether that be death or another chance. Right? We could very well not wake up tomorrow, but God willing, we will be able to fulfill our goals and desires and dreams and aspirations upon God giving us another chance to see another day and do better than we did yesterday. But now you rejoice in your boastings, and all such rejoicing is evil. Therefore, to him that knows to do good and does it not, to him it is sin. I feel like that just speaks to, one, don't be arrogant. Don't have ego, don't have pride. Right? Because with those things, sin follows up behind it, right? Those who are prideful and boastful tear other people down. They judge others, right? We just read to not judge our brothers. We just read that. But that's what comes with pride. Ego makes us believe that we know everything, and it hinders us from seeking the wisdom and knowledge from God. Therefore, a person with true ego, thinking he's higher than everybody else or better than everybody else, it's very hard for an individual of that mind to truly follow in the ways of God, bro. Because he won't submit. If a human being won't drop his pride and truly submit to the ways of the world, bro, not submit to the ways of the world, but understand that there's so many things much more larger than what you think you are. If you can't even submit to that, what makes you think they would submit to God, bro? They won't. They wouldn't. It's those same very people who probably think God doesn't exist, bro. Because of the simple fact that they don't want anybody or anything to have authority over them. It's that kind of thing, bro. It's that kind of thing. Therefore, to him that knows to do good and does it not, to him it is sin. Be doers and not just hearers of the law. Be doers and not just hearers of the word. It's like, what chapter is it? Is it James chapter 2? I think it says no, it's chapter 1. For if any be a hearer of the word and not a doer, he is like unto a man beholding his natural face in a glass. Just simply looking at himself in the mirror, bro. Because you see what you're doing wrong. Yeah, that's the fate you're accepting. And you're okay with it. Like, but whoso looks into the perfect law of liberty and continues therein, he being not a forgetful hearer, but a doer of the work, this man shall be blessed in his deed. If any man among you seem to be religious and control not his tongue and deceives his own heart, this man's religion is vain. Essentially, it's like saying it's useless. It's basically saying his religion is useless. His faith in God, his faith that he claims to have is incomplete. Right? And then chapter 2, this is what I was looking for, yes. For whosoever shall keep the whole law and yet offend in one point, he is guilty of all. For he that said, do not commit adultery, and also said, also do not kill. Now, if you commit no adultery, yet if you kill, you are become a transgressor of the law. if 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 the president said not to go to the candy store and get sweets, right? So you walk in the candy store and it's all this candy, and there's also a vending machine full of soda, right? You said God, or not God, but bro said don't get no sweets. So you're like, okay, I'm not gonna get no candy, but you go to the fridge and you pull out a soda. You see what I'm getting at? Like, bro, it's like you gotta abide by the whole law. You gotta abide by the whole word, the whole entire task that was given to you, bro. You gotta abide by the whole law, not just one piece, not just one part. It's like, bro, like in the court of law, bro, in the judicial system, bro. So many people get convicted of crimes and go to jail because it's like they might have done something that they didn't know was wrong, but you still get convicted because it's wrong. Just because you don't know doesn't mean you're not wrong, my nigga. Oh, dang, I shouldn't have said that. My fault. God forgive me. The control of the tongue, bro. I gotta work on that. But bro, if you hit somebody with your car, and whatever slow person you are, not knowing that is wrong, you're still going to jail for vehicular homicide, bro, because you just killed somebody with your car, bro. So that's what I'm saying, bro. You are become a transgressor of the law. Now, if you commit no adultery, yet if you kill, you are become a transgressor of the law. You are still guilty and shall be judged by the Most High. You shall be judged. So speak you and so do as they that shall be judged by the law of liberty, for he shall have judgment without mercy, and has showed no mercy, and mercy rejoices against judgment. He will judge you with no mercy if you were to become a transgressor of the law. To obey the law in partiality. Partiality is a concept that James 1 talks about. Partiality is a concept that James 1 talks about. But let him ask in faith, nothing wavering, for he that wavers is like a wave of the sea, driven with the mind and tossed. For let not man think that he shall receive anything of the Lord. A double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. Nothing wavering, but let him ask in faith, nothing wavering. You must not have faith in partiality. It must be this or that. You can't sit on the middle of the fence. You got to be a righteous man walking in faith, or a man just walking in his own direction. Because some may say without God you have no direction, and I as I'm growing in my faith, I'm starting to believe in that. But I mean, it's like on the same spectrum, bro, you have some people who are atheists or antichrist and have built a very good life for themselves. But it's like, but then I don't know, I feel like it begins to get to a point where you don't have anything grounding you, though. You might have morals and values, and I feel like that's really what matters most, bro. Even if you're not religious, have some morals and values, right? Because that's what's gonna keep you lined up, bro. That's what's gonna keep you fresh and whole and complete and walking on somewhat of a narrow path, bro. But James, what did we just read? James 4. Yeah, bro. James 4, bro. Draw near to God and he will draw near to you. Resist the devil and he will flee from you. Humble yourselves in the sight of the Lord and he shall lift you up. Speak not evil of one another, your brothers. For he that speaks evil of his brother and judges his brother speaks evil of the law and judges the law. But if you judge the law, you are not a doer of the law, but a judge. Control your tongue. Tame your tongue, for it is unruly and full of poison. And an unruly tongue is no better than a mouth with no tongue, unable to speak for all of eternity. Do not boast and rejoice in arrogance, for it is evil. And you ought to say, if the Lord will, we shall live and do this and that. Live every day like it's your last. You hear that often, but there's some truth to that, bro. There's some truth to that, because it could very well be our last and we will never know until we wake up or don't wake up tomorrow. If the Lord will, we shall live and do this and that. Place your faith in God, and knowing that how can I say it? Place your faith in God and submit to not knowing what the future God holds for you. Because you have no control over that, bro. That's how I'm gonna word that. You have no control over it. Submit to the future. Submit to the future that God holds for you. Because you'll never know what it is until it's there. You feel me? But that's my word for y'all today. That's my word for y'all today. We took 2 banger L trades. We took 2 banger L trades, fam. 2 double. We took a double whammy today. But other than that, I hope y'all have a blessed start to the week, followed up by a great finish, a great strong finish, man. I hope y'all had a great weekend, was able to reset, restore, refill, replenish, rejuvenate, all that good stuff. And yeah, man, we gonna be back at it tomorrow. So love, peace, catch y'all.